Hey, what's up, Badger Clan? It's me, Jim, out here again at Casa de Badger, aka Muscle Beach, aka the Ripitorium, coming at you live. Running short on time today, and I'm kind of filming this guerrilla style in between my sets. So I apologize if I seem a little distracted or rushed on anything, but I took some notes today, so we're good. As you know, we are doing Operation Be Less Fat 2K20. I'm doing the free version, Ken's is doing the paid version, and this is my first body update. I don't really plan on getting down to my skivvies and posing in front of the camera. It's not really my style, but I'm never wearing a shirt when I work out. So I figure you guys can see some of the results as we're going through this. But before I get into the little how-to video I promised my buddy, I'm gonna give you my update. So today I weighed in 3 days after my initial weigh-in, which was on Tuesday. I was 184 pounds when I started. I'm down to 180 today. Guessing a lot of that's from bloat. I don't think I dropped 4 pounds of body fat in 3 days. That's fucking crazy. Feeling good overall. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to disperse my macros throughout the day, so I'm gonna be pretty experimental with this whole thing. Right now, I'm kind of making sure I'm eating protein with every meal. Because I eat a lot, and it's kind of tough to eat all that in one sitting. And as far as carbs and extra fats go, I'm just kind of working them in when I feel like it. Give you a little bit of idea how I'm splitting it up. I'm eating like 2 or 3 meals a day, plus a snack. So I plan out those 3 meals in advance, more or less, with some wiggle room. And then that 4th meal is gonna include my snacks. I am like a lot of people, I like to munch throughout the day. So I don't wanna fight that. I figure whatever makes me able to adhere the best is gonna be the best tactic. So what I do is I factor in those snacks and I let myself eat whenever the hell I want. So right now I'm doing like a big bag of baby carrots, which is kind of pricey. So I'm probably gonna shift gears and get big bags of carrots, since I'm kind of trying to do this on the cheap. So I'll just snack on that throughout the day. The only problem I've run into is that sometimes I'm just not hungry in between meals and I don't want the snack. So then I end up with like a shit ton of carrots left at the end of the day. I guess there's worse things to snack on while you watch TV at night. So I'm not complaining. As of now, I feel pretty good with everything. I'll probably later on touch up all of this stuff and give you guys a better idea of just how I'm implementing the details of it. Kind of playing around with the idea of doing this all written, because it's just, man, I'm way too distracted to talk about this shit. So I know I'm hard to follow. So I guess written word would be a little bit easier. Secondly, I told you on Wednesday, I think it was, when we did our video, that my friend Travis was asking for some tips and pointers on how to organize his training. He's recently kind of found his passion for fitness, and he's very motivated right now. And like with anybody else, you want to nurture that motivation. So he has kind of a good idea of how he's going about it, but he's getting bored, I get the impression, or he wants some variety or some idea of just how to approach it with a bit more structure. So what I was going to do today is talk about one of my absolute most favorite ways to implement calisthenics training, or really any kind of training at all. The only thing you need for this setup is a deck of cards and maybe a little bit of space to work with. This is called doing the GOTCH Bible. For those of you that don't know, Carl GOTCH popularized it. Carl GOTCH was a big time catch wrestler, and his style was train everything from every angle and be a savage. He's famous for the quote, "Conditioning is your strongest hold." I quote it all the time, but we're not gonna get too much into that shit. So anyway, GOTCH Bible, you need a deck of cards, right? And all you're gonna do is you're going to assign a exercise to each suit, right? So the way Carl would run it was, for diamonds, he would run handstand push-ups. For hearts, he would run half moon push-ups. And then he would do squats for spades, Hindu squats, which is similar to like a deep knee bend if you know the old-timey strongman shit. And then for clubs, he would do what he calls jumpers, which is kind of like a rapid level change. I don't know if I do them right. I try to move a little bit forward and backwards with them, and yeah. So basically, that's the whole thing. 4 movements, and what you do is you draw a card, and say you draw a 10, you do 10 of that movement. Say you draw a 5, you do 5 of that movement. You draw a 2, guess what? 2 of that movement. All your face cards are 10 reps, okay? Now what happens when you get to a joker, right? Well, the way Carl would run it is your first joker would be 20 straight Hindu push-ups, okay? Your second joker was 50 straight Hindu squats. The goal being finish the deck. Carl would do the deck twice through. Usually for me, if I do the deck 1.5 decks that way, it's a pretty solid workout for me. But anyway, that's like the base model. You just keep drawing cards until you die. But who wants to just do the base model? Okay, so I'm gonna throw a couple ideas at you on how to modify this workout based on your goals. I like to have a conditioning element to everything I do. So I'm always trying to get my heart rate up. I'm always trying to push myself. And the cool thing with the decks is they work like an opponent, okay? Sometimes you draw 5 cards in a row and they're all squats, 10 reps a squat, and then you draw a joker. And before you know it, you're doing 100 straight squats without a break. They don't give you any mercy, just like you're rolling with someone and you're in a tournament and they want to kick your ass, and they don't have any mercy either. So I like to look at the deck as an opponent trying to beat me, and I try to let myself be unbeaten. So what I like to do is, specifically, I set a timer. And what I'll do is I'll draw cards for a specific set of time straight. I am a huge fan of 5 to 10 minute rounds. Longer the better, okay? The idea is, though, make sure you're not screwing around. Like, you don't want to do 5-minute round and 3 minutes of it sitting on your ass doing nothing. If you're sitting on your ass doing nothing for 3 minutes or 5 minutes rounds, do a 2-minute round, okay? So I'm working the entire time. Then what I'll do is at the end of that card, that round, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I give myself a breather. And the only catch is I try to stay in a negative rest interval. What I mean by negative rest interval is if I work for 5 minutes, I'm resting for 3 or 2 or 1, as little as possible, okay? As the workout progresses, obviously you're gonna rest more and more and more so you can keep finishing the training. But I try to hold those longer rest intervals off till later in the fight. So that's one way to run it. Second way to run it, have a total number of cards in mind, finish them as fast as you can. Doesn't matter what you draw. If you draw all squats, that's what you're doing. If you draw all push-ups, that's what you do. But the idea is get it done. And you would be surprised that if you try and do 52 cards in 52 minutes, this shit's gonna kick your ass. It's brutal and it's tough and it's challenging. The other way you could do it is marathon style, where I'm just trying to get as many cards as I possibly can. I'm not quite sure what my record is. I don't know. I like I said, I usually go for like a deck and a half, 2 decks, something like that is my goal. So yeah, GOTCH Bible. So eventually you're gonna probably get bored of these movements, right? Like, why the shit am I gonna do the same push-up and squat variations every day in and day out, without fail? I can tell you that I've run those specific movements for months on end exclusively every single day. I didn't get weaker. In fact, I probably got stronger. But keeping with the ideas, you can assign any movement at all to those cards. So you can do this with a kettlebell. You can do this with a cinder block. You can do this with a mace. You can do this with sprints, right? There's a million different things you can do. Personally, the way I like to do it is I like to have a push, a pull. I like to have a squat and an ab movement. And with that, man, you can't really go wrong. It's a good way to set it up. So anyways, my video is long as shit and I still have to go do some squats. So when I come back, it'll be next week and I'm hoping to be a couple pounds lighter. Be fierce. Peace.